Hey y'all, I'm actually going to do this video again one more time just to see if it comes out a little better for those that actually will be watching this video. And um, I'm not sure if there's any other audience that's going to watch this other than teachers and students. So, staff, if you are watching this, thank you very much. And those that are doing other reviews, thank you very much. Now, have you ever met a published author? I mean, I know that we have social media, we have all types of areas, and I did put out there on a different video a different view on real or fake news and real and fake versus, teaching tangible and intangible and air. So, in connection to that, the viewpoint from me as a published author is one that comes from a schooling of education in general. I was raised to be an educator primarily from natural resources. So, although where I come from, it makes more sense for me to connect all of it all in one video as opposed to those that will not understand in another video. So, I'm from Hawaii, and as a licensed teacher, those that do natural resource teaching, which means you go completely organic. You share about how natural resources are used in a classroom, how even a pencil is made, how bark is turned into paper versus bark being turned into a hula instrument being um, used just to dance, as well as bark being used for the purposes of clothes. So in our classrooms, we do have poi making, and we do have even those that like to make tapa cloth or kappa. We make our own clothes. So those that do not understand the reality of an education in a different area, in a different culture, it makes no sense as to what I would say in this connection for this book that I'm going to review. So, while teaching, and because my mother was a teacher almost all of her life with me in many different ways, regardless of on military base and working part time in retail versus in a classroom with cultural teaching and language teaching and music, it really made no sense for me because I didn't want to be a teacher completely. I wanted to be able to do different types of clubs or writings and literacy. So I became a published author ever since I was young. I learned how a book was made, and I will kid you not that some of my projects that I turned in, I asked my teacher, is it possible instead of a diorama to just put into a book? So it was very interesting, dioramas, big 3D cutouts, glue and all, versus a book. So I was used to creating, and I got tired of making dioramas. Not to say it's not good, but I was already around my mother. I was already making different things and helping out with Mayday and dance and concerts. So it made no sense for me to constantly ask, can I stick with that way and that form of presenting? So I learned about typing and different types of shows that portrayed it. So as a published author that won even literary works for my poetry, I was able to keep some of it. Some of it got thrown out. Other types of nominations got thrown out. So I'm into nonfiction, and I chose not to go into fiction for the longest time, a very, very long time. I got into looking at the age of 18, leaving for children's literature training. And instead, I found myself with my 4 year college degree married, going into elementary education with a husband in secondary education. So it was very different for me to present to him real versus fake. Now, in my other videos, I shared about real versus fake. real versus fake news, tangible versus intangible. When it comes to children's literature, we often get bombarded with which one should be or a good read, should be or should not be a good read, in comparison, because there is so much information and so many books, even on digital. So this one's The Hollywood Spy. Now, in Hawaii, we teach about World War II. You wouldn't understand why I'm sharing this unless you understood World War II in Hawaii with Pearl Harbor. I was also a tour guide at USS Battleship Missouri. It was one of my fabulous, enjoyable times of my life before getting married. I still want to go there and I still want to work there. So, on the back, this review is really quickly about the covers of the book. As a published author, The Hollywood Spy, it's a mystery novel by Susan Elia McNeil. It's a wraparound cover, and there's a summary at the top, and then a few reviews, and then her biography. Her picture stands out very well against her cover. Red background, brick background. It even sends the viewpoint of being a teacher, and that's real inside of a moment of an illustration. So the front pages, there's different types of reviews. When it comes to fiction, it is very helpful to get types of reviews all set up and ready to go for those